JJESSE Bromwich needed the Melbourne Storm almost as much as the club needs him. JJESSE Bromwich has done the kindergarten drop-off. Now he sits in a cafe talking quietly, politely and with a bright and, you suspect, expensively renovated smile about kids, life and rugby league. So calm and seemingly gentle is the Storm prop, you ask if he ever feels intimidated by the marauding opponents he confronts from the opening seconds of every game. Bromwich raises his eyebrows just slightly. It is his understated way of letting you know it is opposition packs, not him, that should feel concerned. "I just embrace it now," says Bromwich of a brutal game's most physically confronting moments. "You get goose bumps running out and you know you are ready to go. I like getting that early touch. As soon as you do that you know you are in the game." Bromwich has gotten bigger and stronger in the season since the 2014 finals when the Storm realized they needed to muscle up. But even allowing for his size and reputation as the world's best prop, it is the 27-year-old's sense of contentment that is most obvious. Bromwich's sunny nature is that of a man acutely self-aware that life and rugby league has been good to him. Growing up in tough South Auckland, Bromwich fondly recalls the willing backyard games with his brother Kenny. "There was about 10 of us who lived close to each other and we would play footy every day," he says. "There were fights all the time but it was great fun." But Bromwich also remembers the time when a playful childhood gave way to a more confronting adolescence. How Kenny was spotted by a scout and came to the Storm on a scholarship. How at 17 he was left working in an aluminum factory and playing league on the weekends. Bromwich's father Mike had given the game away in his early 20s. Mouths to feed meant more time digging drains. Mike and Alex Bromwich had done what they could to shield their children Jesse, Kenny and Paula from the harsher realities of South Auckland. But for a time, Jesse could see only a dead end. "It's very rough where I'm from," he says. "You don't do much. People just sit around in their garages and drink and smoke and do all that stuff. I just wanted to get out of there and see the world." Bromwich was offered a lifeline. A scout who took players from Auckland to Australian country clubs asked him to play for the Orange Hawks. It was not the glamour of the NRL. Bromwich worked as a scaffolder between training sessions and traded shots with big country boys on Saturday. But it was an out. "I learned a lot," he says. "It was my first time being out of home, out of my comfort zone. I really liked it." Then the conversation that changed Bromwich's life. Kenny told the Storm's under-20 coach Brad Arthur that his big brother was better than him. Arthur said, "Tell him to come in and we will have a look at him." The timing was perfect. Bromwich had not quite shaken the stranglehold of South Auckland and missed some flights back to Orange after drinking sessions with friends. His father had insisted he moved to Melbourne where the family had relocated and he was already in town when Kenny told him to get to Storm training. Bromwich was wide-eyed at his first session. "I looked over and saw Cameron Smith and Israel Folau and Greg Inglis training on the other field and I was buzzing from that," he says. The learning curve in Arthur's under-20s was steep. "I thought I knew how to play rugby league before I got here, but I had no idea," says Bromwich. "I used to just catch the ball and do my best. I had no idea about structures and playing the ball fast. He taught me a lot." Graduating to first grade under Craig Bellamy, there were tough lessons about discipline, defense, aggression. "I remember one game when I wasn't defending properly. We didn't put much emphasis on defense where I came from, and I corked a legendary spray," he says. But Bromwich learned quickly. The 2012 premiership came so fast, he regrets not savoring it more. Now the title is up for grabs again, this time with Kenny also an important part of the team. Bromwich says he didn't feel put out when his little brother jumped the queue and went to the Storm, leaving him to work in the factory. He was glad Kenny had avoided the harsher aspects of South Auckland life. Similarly, when the wheel turned and Kenny struggled with form and injury, he was also empathetic. "I'd rather it was happening to me than him," he says of Kenny's battles. But he's come through the other side and had an awesome year, and I'm so happy for him. Now the Bromwiches are together. Jesse not only is a feared player, but also happy husband and father of two, Kiwi captain and respected presence at the Storm. Only Canberra stands between the Bromwich brothers and the dream of running out together to play an NRL Grand Final. They've got big boys who are going to run hard and be aggressive, says Jesse of the Raiders. They've got players who can do special things. They'll throw the ball around and chance their arm a bit. We'll have to be on our game, but as serene as Bromwich might seem off the park, it is the Raiders who will need to be on their game when he approaches. Thank you for watching movie. Please subscribe and like to support